Okay, this is Introduction to Microsoft Power Platform, still studying for PL 900. Below Code Platform, Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, Power Virtual Agents, Automate and integrate business processes with Power Automate, gain insights from your data regardless of where it lives with Power BI, build powerful chatbots with Power Virtual Agents, put all your data to work with Dataverse, jumpstart apps using a standardized data model with business logic, security, and integration built in, extend to your own needs and integrate across your apps and services, seamless Dynamics 365, Office 365, and Azure integration augmented with data from industry partners. We have the data connectors. Connectors are available for use in multiple products: Power Automate, Power Apps, and Logic Apps. Data loss prevention, compliance, privacy, and accessibility. Microsoft Power Platform helps to add value to any business by analyzing, acting, and automating. Build custom apps and Power Apps, automate processes with Power Automate, analyze data with Power BI, and build powerful chatbots with Power Virtual Agents. The Dataverse. The Dataverse for Teams delivers a targeted set of features needed for creating apps, flows, and more within Microsoft Teams. Most of the standard tables provided with a typical Dataverse environment will not be present as part of Dataverse for Teams. Identify tables and columns in Dataverse for Teams. The types of tables, we have standards and custom. The columns, we can store discrete pieces of information within a record in a table. Every column has a type which defines the way you store the data. Example, date columns. To understand the relationships represent the way that tables are connected. One-to-many relationships can be parent-child relationships. Many-to-many relationships, a contact can attend multiple events and an event can have many contacts attend. The Power Apps. In this lesson, you'll learn what Power Apps is and the business value it creates. There's a low to no code platform, Canvas, model driven, and Portal, which they said Portal was replaced by Pages. You can add artificial intelligence to your app with no code. All right, to learn the basic elements, we have the Power App Studio interface you use to build your app. The app format is mobile or tablet. In the galleries, you can display rows from a table of data. In the forms, you can display details from a specific table row. In input controls, text inputs, buttons, drop downs, toggles, and more. Intelligent controls, rich controls for more advanced operations. Functions, glue that binds all the controls, inputs, and data sources. This is the Power App Studio. This is the app format, the galleries. These are the forms, the input controls, the radio button, Intelligent controls. The images. To build a Canvas app, you can connect to a data source, explore the generated app, install the app on your device. You could share the app, prepare to share an app, save the app, click share, specify users or groups, consider security groups, and the permission, users and contributors need permissions to any data connects and gateways that a share app uses. How to build a model-driven app. Model-driven app design is a component-focused approach to app development and does not require code. And the apps you make can be simple or very complex. The approach to making model-driven apps: model your business data, define your business process, and then build the app. The building blocks are data, user interface, logic, and visualization. In the data, you can have table, columns, and relationships, user interface, app, sitemap, forms, and views, logic, business process flows, workflows, actions, business rules, and flows. In the visualization, you can have charts, dashboards, embedded Power BI. The design of the model-driven app, there's a picture. Create a model-driven app. Add components to your app, create a form, edit a form, and then publish your app. Power Automate. Common scenarios and capabilities: automating repetitive tasks, guiding a user through a process, connecting to an external data sources, automating desktop-based processes. Scale automation efficiently. Pre-built templates. Build automated workflow using pre-built templates and tailored automations. Automate across your favorite apps and services. Integrates with the Microsoft ecosystem, on-premises, and in the cloud. The three types are cloud, business process, and desktop. They have the form processor, object detector, prediction, and text classification. You can create a flow from a template, create a recurring flow, create a flow triggered by a button, automate an approval request, create a flow from a template, search using keywords from relevant templates. Example template: create a flow to save email attachments to OneDrive for Business. Keep these concepts in mind when building flows. Every flow has two main parts: a trigger, one or more actions. Think of the trigger as the starting action for the flow. Actions are what you want to happen when a trigger is invoked. Some examples of types of action you can have in a flow include loops, switch, do until, apply to each, and expressions. Trigger or run the flow. With Power Automate, you don't think of running a flow the same way as you do with Power Apps. Instead, you perform the activity that triggers the flow to run. When defining triggers, there are a few different types: when something changes, on a schedule, and on a button press. Scheduled flows can run once a day, on a date, and after a number of days. The button flows: create a flow using a button through the Power Automate mobile app, activity feed, browsing, buttons, managing flows. Buttons are flows that are started through a manual action. Power BI. Self-service platform that helps you discover, analyze, and visualize data in order to share and collaborate insights with your colleagues. Capacities, workspaces, data sets, shared data sets, reports, and dashboards. Dashboards are single canvas containing tiles and widgets. Workspace is for personal use. A report is one or more pages of visualizations. template app. The new Power BI template apps enable Power BI partners to build Power BI apps with little or no coding and deploy them to any Power BI customer. You can get data from Excel file, Azure Data, AppSource, Dynamics 365, SaaS providers like Salesforce, Facebook, Google Analytics, Power BI tools. They have the desktop, the mobile, and then they have Power BI Service, which is the main one we use beside Power Apps. Data modeling and visualization. 5 main areas. You have your ribbon, report view or canvas, your pages tab at the bottom. Number 4, your visualization pane, and number 5 is your fields pane. Filter data with Power BI. Slicers, a simple type of filtering that you can use directly on the report page. Slicers provide cues to ways you can filter the results and the visuals on a report page. Transforming the data with Query Editor. Launch Power Query Editor. Select Edit from the Navigator window. Use the Edit Queries button on the home ribbon from Power BI Desktop. How to transform data. Do not summarize. Sum, average, and more are ways to aggregate your data. Visualize data. Drag field names from field pane and drop into the report canvas. In visualization pane, select type of visualization you want to create. Build a dashboard. Collaborate and share. Virtual agents. The chat bot. The topics. You have user topics, system topics, entities. An entity can be viewed as an information unit that represents a certain type of a real-world subject, like a phone number, zip code, city, or even a person's name. Entity types or pre-built entities represent the most commonly used information in real-world dialogues. Custom entities. Actions enable your chatbot to perform an action by calling a Microsoft Power Automate flow. You can call flows from within topics. Publish chatbots to engage with your customers on multiple platforms like websites, Facebook, Microsoft Teams.